Hey everybody, this is Darren from Lilley's Landing. Today is Sunday, December 1st. I'm going to do one cast for you today. So there's supposed to be running 60 megawatts, which is just above one generator. I'm looking here to see if that's what they're actually doing. Yeah. Yep, that's what they're doing. So they had two generators going for a few hours this morning, and then dropped it down to just over one generator is what's going on right now. Yeah, I got a 16th ounce sculpin and ginger jig with an orange head. And I'm going to throw that along the bluff here that's straight across from the resort. I got it on spot lock right now. Well, I guess that took it off, but that's fine. See what we can do here. I'm gonna have to get closer. It's a little chilly. I don't know what the temperature is, but 30s. We didn't get any snow like north of us did, thankfully. I like snow, so it'd have been fine. But it's chilly. Water looks pretty clear. You can see my jig down pretty good. A few people have said it's been kind of tough for them the last couple days. And a couple of guides said that too. One guy this morning said he caught them pretty good. He was using a slip float up in the trophy area. I think he was throwing some San Juans and some scuds under that. But from what we've been hearing in the office, people have been having a little bit of a tough time here the last few days. Still catching fish, just not a bunch of numbers. I know night crawlers has been kind of the number one bait that everybody's been using and catching them on. This is just what people tell us in the office, so who knows if people are telling the truth or not. You know how fishermen are. They like to not tell the truth about their fish stories. Keep meaning to throw my streamer rod in my truck. I keep forgetting. Just need to do it when I get home today while I'm thinking about it and just leave it in there. Same thing with my bibs. Man, if I had my bibs right now, it'd be perfect. I'm a little chilly though. There's not too many people fishing right now. There was a boat when I was at the dock. He was fishing right in here. Or along this bluff anyway. But when I pulled out, he was gone. I don't have a clue where he went. Oh, little bitty trout chased it. Two of them. Let's see if we can get him. Guess they didn't want to eat it. The second time, see if they're chasing it now. There was two of them, two little guys. I'll let it go down a little deeper. It's only a 1/16 of an ounce, so it takes a minute for it to get down very deep. It's chilly in the shade. Hand's starting to get cold. It's not terribly cold, it's just chilly. My hand's starting to get cold. There's a cardinal over there on the bank. It's really bright. That was the bottom. Trying just to slow roll it here, very slowly reel. Get a little closer. Probably should have grabbed a black jig too, but I did not. It's nice and quiet out here today. I can see my jig down probably 5 feet, 6 feet. That may have been, I don't know if that was a fish or not, or just some junk I cast into. It just felt heavy, and I didn't feel a thump, it was just kind of heavy. In the shade, I can't see my jig where I'm casting. I was thinking that was going to go up in the rocks, but it landed in the water. I'm close enough to the bank where I can cast up there pretty easy. Oh, that may have been a fish. Went to pop it and he was there. Yep, that was a fish. That was a real, oh man, come on. Real light. I don't know if they were just grabbing where the feathers are. So I don't know if you can see on there while it's swinging there. There's like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of feathers past the hook. I don't know if that's what they were eating. Or that one. Something hit it a couple times on that one. I also haven't fished a jig in a very long time, so it does take a couple of fish just jumped right where I had those bites. It does take a few times to get back in the groove of fishing a jig if you don't do it for a while. Because I like to eat it when it falls, so when you pop it and you got loose line is when they eat it a lot of times. So then like that first bite I had, when you go to pop it again, you feel them just for a second, but it's already too late, they're letting it go. So it's really good if you can see your line. I can barely see my line with my sunglasses and in the shade. I can barely see it, and I think it's 2 pound too. Like right now I can't see my line at all. Past the rod tip. I can see right here, but you want to see it past. Oh, there was one again. I'll hook one. That time I can see my line. I can see it boom, jumping. That water's gonna be cold. Actually, water might be warm. My hand will be cold afterwards. I really don't wanna. Well, yeah, the water's kind of warm, but my hand's gonna be cold afterwards. Stop. There you go. I don't think there's anything in that tree sticking in the water. Oh, I'm past it anyway. So it gets about that far out, and I can see my line, which is where that last one ate it, and I actually got him. the sun hits it, I can see it pretty easy, but get in the shade, it disappears. I'm just barely trying to keep the boat going a little bit slower than my jig, so it swings downstream just a skosh. Fish just ate something off the surface right there. He needs to eat my jig. He needs to eat my jig just long enough where I can get him close to the boat and then he can let go. Because I don't want to get my hand wet again. Because my hand is frozen now. Tricky there. It's hard to tell what's shadow and what's a reflection and what's a branch under the water. I think I got some junk. Branch? No. Just missed one. Eddy up here. I about hit a fish. Fish came up right where I landed. It was just coincidence there. There's a little seam there, and he was just sitting in that seam eating. Didn't know he was there until I cast and almost hit him right where he came up at. probably do in those places like this. I don't know if you can see it now on the camera or not, or if the sun's blocking it. There's that big tree that's dead, that's going up on the bank. Those rocks stick out a little bit, and then the bank cuts back. So it makes a little seam right there where there's a bunch of leaves. And the water on the backside, it makes an eddy there, so the water on the backside is still, or even going upstream a little bit because it's curling. But the fish will sit in those seams, that was the bottom, and eat all the food. So with this generation, I wonder if you could do like a 32nd ounce jig, or even maybe a 50th. It might be heavy enough under a float, and just let it drift down in those seams like that, and just hitting all those little spots down the lake, down the river. One more cast here. Almost put it on the bank. Didn't think I was going to be able to cast that far. So right here's another little spot like that. The bank kind of pokes out, goes back right there, and there's a seam there. It's not as defined as this one was, but it's there. Oop. Hit my trolling motor the wrong way. Alright. I lied, that wasn't one more. This is one more. Oh man, frozen now. It doesn't even have to be where the bank is changing. If there's a rock, or if there's, a few sticks, like right here there's a few sticks. It doesn't create as big of a seam as when the bank is like that, but it'll still do it. But that was the last cast. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good day.